Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Here We Are, Year Zero. So, bringing us back in. Well, before that, I'm your DM, GM, storyteller, whichever you like to call me, Forgotten Dreams, and I am a very tired boy, as it's a rainy day in Georgia, and we all love rainy days because it makes us sleepy. Either way, I'm joined by a lovely cast of people, starting off with Ellen. She's waving there, and she's going to be playing Via Newton. Next up, we have Moo.
Hi from Istanbul.
No. Who is going to be playing Kira. Next up, we have Eric.
Hello.
Who is going to be playing Dexter Cormac. And last but not least, we have Ava.
Hello, everybody.
Who is going to be playing Rachel McMasters. All right, so giving us a recap for this week is going to be Eric, and I'm going to yawn a little bit. Take it away.
All right. So last time we started off on the main deck of the boat, trying to figure out what we were going to do. Bad guys came on board and started opening fire on the crowd as they came onto the decks that they were apparently assigned to. Various number of people, we don't know exactly how many, various weapons that they're carrying. And as they ran through the ship, we all ducked for cover and ran to hide. Cabby and Olivia, or Via, went down an elevator to try to go after Kira, who had been put in the brig, and they were under the impression that she was still in the brig. They detoured at the last minute, decided to go down to the deck where their rooms were, and found her there. And then Rachel and Dexter followed soon after. We actually ran to the aft of the boat. First, tried to bust out a window, but that didn't work out real well. My bludgeoning skill is very low, so that didn't work out. And then we ran back up and tried to get in the opposing elevator. As I did, I shot down one of the bad guys as we ran past the open atrium area in the center of the ship there. Got in the elevator, and then we met up with Via and Cabby and Kira on the floor with all of the rooms. While we were on that floor, some fire was exchanged between the bad guys and the National Guard that was there. And we lost a lot of National Guard people, but they also took care of the majority of the bad guys on our level. So that's where we're at.
All right, fantastic. So, bringing us back in, we come back in on the deck where all your cabins were, as you all are piling into the elevator. And there is the move for Cabby to go ahead and try and push the button to go to deck 3. Does anyone try and stop him at all?
Yeah, Dexter will actually put his hand over the buttons for just a split second and say, whoa, 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 I've got 30 pounds of gear on me. I've got a backpack full of ammo, brass casings. I'm not going to be able to swim without a boat. We got to go to level 4 where the boats are.
With that, seeing as I'm not entirely sure what Cabby would argue here, we say that Cabby moves his hand away and goes and pushes on deck 4. Alright, let me see here. Or actually, I should ask, do you want to go to... He'll ask you if you want to go to deck 4 or the deck above that where the instrumentation was for the emergency boats.
The deck above it, I believe.
Was where the Ivory Club is and was where the Platinum Restaurant are that were getting shot up that you initially left.
Yeah, the idea there being we have to jump over the edge into the boat, and then somebody will have to initiate the buttons for the boat to lower.
Mm-hmm.
We have a rope amongst us to like maybe create like a means for them to get down safer. Whoever is the button presser, because 30 pounds of gear, jumping, kneecaps, concerns, boat.
Well, as the elevator doors close, this question is posed.
Dexter will just look back at the others. I don't have any complaints. I don't have any rope or anything, though.
I might have a rope. I gotta look through my inventory.
I'm thinking the drop is probably going to be only maybe 4 or 5 feet, but we'll see when we get up there.
I have paracord.
Paracord would certainly do it.
I have 2 bundles of 100 foot length paracord.
Ow. Okay. Yeah, if you wanted to set it up, you could. It would take you a little bit of time to find something stable enough to hook it onto. But I don't know. Maybe if you tied it really tight on the ropes, you could use the paracord. Or not on the ropes, but the rail.
I'm willing to offer up my paracord for use should someone want to use it.
Well, as that is posited out into the air, you all hear from outside the elevators as the elevators begin to kick in and the little motor starts and it begins to make its way down. From outside, you hear a loud thum. Actually, several of them. Go ahead and make me spot listens. See if you can figure out what it is. First check of the night. Excuse me. All right, Dexter's a no-go. Via, wow, 5 successes. Oh my God, you live near an airport. You know exactly what this is. Rachel, not so much.
Safe to assume I can take off my 5 black dice, right?
Yes, you can take off your 5 black dice. You spend enough time in the brig. You don't need those anymore.
Yay, I'm a big kid now. Alright, let's see what we got here. Crit. Okay, not so bad.
Okay. Fantastic. Well, luckily I'm not punishing you for any of those red. So, as this loud set of booms rings out, Via, you immediately realize that that's probably a couple of jets from the carrier zooming past. Everybody else, you just hear a loud crack outside that sort of shakes the frame of the elevator. And you watch as the lights within the elevator blink a few times and the elevator temporarily stops. And it's still holding there. Hasn't started moving again.
What's going on? Are we stuck?
You watch as Cabby begins to look over and taps the button furiously for the floor you want to go to, and he notices that all the lights on the little control panel for the elevator are blinking.
Well, that's not good.
So, as the doom music goes down, and we are all stuck in an elevator. Switch up the soundtrack here. Elevator elevator still hasn't begun to move. And you can hear a curse from underneath Cappy's breath as he says to all of you, well, looks like we're stuck and it's not moving. I don't know what to do.
Rachel's gonna try to open it.
Okay, so go ahead. Let's see here. I'm
Dexter-
gonna need from you. Go ahead.
Dexter will grab at the door and try to assist her.
Okay. In that case, I'm gonna need from the both of you lift pull checks.
I would like to spend. Did our competency points reset?
Yeah, your competency points would have reset. We are at a new session.
Okay, I'm going to spend competency points to succeed.
Okay, so you're spending 3 competency points to go ahead and succeed on the check.
I'm spending 3 to break even. So,
All
There you go.
right. Fantastic. Oh, wow. You rolled a 62. Fantastic. So, yeah, you go ahead and spend 3 and you break even, and you get no successes, no failures there. We get a straight out success with the 3 competency that Dexter spins. And you, as you both grab onto one side of the doors as best you can, trying to get what little of a grip you can, maybe even choosing to instead go for the attempted slide method. You both slowly, with heavy pushes, manage to get it a couple of inches open, and you can see that you are between decks. And the indicator is flashing on deck 5. And it takes you a little while, but eventually you hear a clicking sound as the doors come open, and you can see that there is about a 4-inch gap of a closed floor door above you and a 4-inch gap of a closed floor below you.
looks like we're gonna have to crawl out
Nope.
on top.
Have none of you ever seen a movie where
No,
people get
no,
cut
no,
in
no.
half?
What she said. I vote
no, I'm
bottom
not saying-
floor. Bottom floor. You know, go ahead.
It's
Who's
4
the music?
inches. 4 inches. That's not
I,
even a.
I'm too much of a
Who's
lady. That's too much.
Who's going to fit through 4 inches on the top or on the bottom? We're gonna have to crawl up through
I mean,
like,
I'm
the opening on the top of this car.
And then
I'm pretty
the elevator
petite.
will go back into service and shoot up, and we'll all get impaled on whatever spikes are at the top, because there's always spikes at the top of an elevator shaft for whatever
Absolutely.
reason.
You're
This is all
absolutely-
terrible.
We're
gonna die no matter what.
Yeah, we should just
or
sit here and
it's just
wait.
gonna fall, or it's gonna go loose and fall down. So I go
And
for
then
the
we just
bottom one.
jump
Of
at the
that
bottom and we'll be fine. If we fall, we just jump before it hits the ground, right? That's what you do.
Wait, yeah. Why don't we
We
just
just
pop
jump.
the ceiling on this thing and then just climb through the floor, the height of opening minus 4 inches option? Why don't we just? Don't elevators have a ceiling thing on top? They just pop out.
That's what I just said.
Oh, sorry. I'm like, if I don't get a proper shower, I don't think straight. Okay, water is my element.
I don't like any of this.
Neither do I. I still feel like I have some conditioner in my eyes.
Okay. You hear a roar off in the distance, a very familiar one, and one that you weren't expecting here in Panama. As last time, and that wasn't too long ago, that the ladies checked the news, Panama was not in any way affected. You also begin to hear the sound of gunfire picking up intensely outside As you are in the elevator, you can hear a few voices coming from the door that is the 5th floor, which is the one directly below you. And it sounds
Rachel
like
is Rachel's moving. Like she's gonna open the latch. Whatever the latch is above this car, she's gonna open it and she's gonna try to crawl her happy ass up the latch or up on top.
All right, go ahead and make me a balance check. As Rachel, you're gonna have to climb onto the little sidebar in the elevator in order to properly get the footing to reach up to that latch and try and open it. Hey! With a single success, you go ahead and you make your way over to the side of the elevator where you can see the latch, and you try and do your best to balance yourself up on the railing, and you get some decent footing, and you look for the release, and you quickly find it as there is as you pull it, there's a little click. And you watch as the top hatch sort of bounces upward like it was set by a spring. And you go ahead and push it open, and you can see there is a mostly dark elevator shaft that stretches up above you. You can really only make out, using the light from inside the elevator, the groupings of cords and brakes at the top of your elevator that sort of stretch out into the darkness above. And there are these faint wisps of light coming from what you assume to be various different doors from the other decks above you.
So she's gonna try to open the door above, like the one to the floor above.
All right. So go ahead and give me a. Let's see here. You have your choice. You can either try and lift yourself up, or you can. Well, it'd be a little bit riskier, but you could try and use your railing to jump up to get on top of the elevator in order to reach that 6th floor door.
Okay.
So maybe I'm confusing something, but I thought that you had mentioned when we opened the doors on the elevator that we were in, that at the top there was 4 inches of the door above us at the top of our door, and then so wouldn't that put her eye level with the door at this point?
Right now she's standing on the railing in your elevator with the latch open, and she's just gotten that compartment up at the top of the elevator open. She still has to get out there in order to interact with the door.
Oh,
well,
Dexter will give her a boost.
Okay. So with your boost, we'll -5 from the total. Actually, in order to represent that, go ahead and give yourself a temporarily a +5 to your test roll for with him giving you a boost, a lift pull.
Okay. So lift pull. No kits, but a multiplier of what, 5? You said?
No, it'll still be a multiplier of 1. It's just in your advanced tab, underneath your skills, add a 5 in the box there. There you go. Ooh. Hold on. Wait a minute. Wow. A 61.
I was gonna. Can I spend 3 just to break even?
Sure. You go ahead and spend the 3
How does that
competency
happen?
points.
How?
Yeah, that's what happens when you roll high. You go ahead and you spend
I was supposed to have a 5.
You were supposed to
Where's
get
the
a.
5?
No. When I said you get a 5, it added the 5 onto your total, or at least it should have, for an additional 5% to succeed. Let's see. Nope. It did not. Let me check your character sheet. Okay. It says that you have it. So your total should have been 34, which would have brought you down to 2 failures instead of 3. So if you spend 3 competency points, that is a success.
Okay.
And with that, you manage to get pushed up onto the top of the elevator, and you are right on up there next to the gear, and you can feel the well-oiled the gears and brakes to your left as you kind of have to use that to finish pulling yourself up, and you can now see the door above you. Well, in front of you. And just as you get up there, there's a electronical click, and the elevator smoothly goes down 1 floor.
Would have cut us in half, I told you.
What? Well, I mean, it's not too terrible. Like, I'm just here kind of stuck in between, so I'll come back down, I guess.
Okay. So
whatever.
As you begin to make your way down, we go ahead and cut back over to here, and you no longer hear the sound of any gunfire on this level. Let me go ahead and get your tokens all clustered up in that elevator real quick. So there's Rachel. Let me double check to make sure that she has the ability to touch her token. Okay. There we go. Save settings. Then we have Kira. Make sure that you have the ability to touch yours. You do. Alright. Then we got Dexter. Make sure you have your ability. There you go. Throw him in there. And then we have Via. And make sure you have yours. There we go. Save settings. Throw you in the elevator. So, the elevator door opens. And you can hear that there is a bit of movement coming from around where the Platinum Restaurant is. Go ahead and make me a spot listen. Everybody can go ahead and do this as the door opens and there's a light ding.
Yeah, no. No.
All right, I got one from Via. I got one from Rachel. There we go. There's one from Dexter.
Sure are. Alright. See. Sorry. There's been enough time that I'm just rustic on all of this. Alright, come on. Here we go. Chase of Dreams. Hey.
Alright, Kira and Dexter. As the doors open and Rachel starts making her way down onto the rail, you can hear a number of loud engines outside of the cruise ship, sounding like they're driving up towards it. And there's a bit of chatter coming from the Platinum Restaurant that is kind of muffled over the sounds of everything happening outside. So you can't fully make it out, but you don't hear anything coming from the Ivory Club.
So we are talking outside the elevators? Is that what you said?
Yeah, you hear talking outside of the elevators to your right in the Platinum Restaurant. But it seems like it's either a decent distance away, or they're whispering, because you can't make out what they are saying to the right of you. You can hear the screech of tires outside as well.
I don't like any of this.
I'm trying to find us on the map.
You guys are down here.
Where is down here?
When
no.
I shift click.
South. Extreme south.
Extreme south, over by the elevators. It's the elevators next to the Spectrum Atrium. All of you are packed in that one elevator on top of each other.
Oh,
token-wise.
that's what Dexter looks like. Okay, I thought that was just like some random NPC that looked like he had more detail than I expected. Okay. Cool. Alright, well, adventure starts with one step, so I guess I'm gonna just step out of the elevator.
Okay.
Anything particularly interesting I see
Well,
on this extra? Like, do I move my token, or... Hey, look at that.
Yeah, there you go. All right. So as you step out of the elevator, you can see that the stairs to the Ivory Club bar are slicked with blood, and there are the trail marks of blood that lead from the stairs out onto the balcony in either direction. No bodies, though. And you can also see trails of blood leading up from the Platinum Restaurant and merging with the trails that go either way down this hallway.
Hey, Aaron, I'm really sorry. I have to go. Something happened to one of my kids. I have to go. So I will be in touch later. Bye-bye.
All right. So there's an emergency there. Okay. In that case. So, as you step out in the hallway and see this, what would you like to do as I scramble to fix all the cameras?
Let's see. I guess just like hand motion, point in the direction of it, and just like do like a whispering, like a shush hand motion, and just start like trying to creep towards the trail.
All right. So you want to go to the trail that goes to your left or go to your right? Because right now you're at a huge merging point with one trail that goes to your right and one trail that goes to your left. And I
see. I'm gonna go with the right.
Okay. So you begin to follow the right-hand trail, and as you do, as you sort of look in the direction of the Platinum Restaurant, you can see a few guys with assault rifles who are just looking out the windows at the back of the Platinum Restaurant, talking, smoking, not paying any attention to you though.
Are they standing? Okay. So about how far away were they again? And how close together are they to one another?
My cameras are really screwed now. Let me see here. So, from you, they are about 70 feet, 65 to 70 feet. And they're 5 feet apart from each other in two groups. And they're both talking, look like they're sort of relaxed, smoking. And they're slowly making their way over to the windows. So they're getting to about 80 feet away from you.
Got it. Okay, I'm gonna just shimmy back to the group and just like whisper, guys, rifles, two groups, window. Don't look friendly. They don't look friendly, right?
No, not at all.
No, super not friendly.
All right, Dexter will say in a whisper, and he'll point this direction. He'll say, "We got to get down that hallway to get access to the boats." I'll volunteer to work the controls to start you guys down, and then I'll jump down to get in. But we got to get across there. Let's be as quiet as we can and as stealthy as we can, getting across that gap.
What's up?
Okay. Everybody go ahead and make me stealth checks. And go ahead and call out your results when you have made your check.
62. I needed to make below a 71. 1 success.
Okay.
I got 1 failure, but I'll spend 2 to make it a success.
Alright, let me see here. Oh, Moose thing is bugging out now. Alright. Well, that's fun.
I'm here.
Oh,
Sorry,
no,
I
I'm
keep thinking
talking
it's
about
like
your
a
camera that's bugging out.
What, you can see me? No.
No.
That shouldn't be happening.
For the game.
Alright. So, hey, I'm decent at what I do. You know what? I'd like to put 3 competency points in this because I ain't trying to be shot that easy today. Just today.
Just today. No other day but today.
Just today.
What is going
Oh,
on?
today.
Alright, well, it looks like the windows are borking. So that's fun. So we're gonna have to... I'm just gonna turn the cameras off. And we are gonna have to deal without any cameras today, as it looks like OBS wants to be a pain in the butt. Alright, in the meantime, as you all go ahead and do your best to sneak, let me go and check the results real quick. Oh, nice, Kira. Dexter, you're spending competency, you said?
Yeah, I'll spend 2 to get a success.
Okay, spending 2 to get a success.
I'm throwing
Kira,
3 down.
you're throwing
Alright,
3
you're
down.
5.
Alright, fantastic.
Yep.
Okay.
I am the shadow.
Awesome. Get the last couple of discords gone. There we go. And then move.
Oh.
So, I'm just going to do a check for these guys. And let's see if they
What are
notice
you doing? While you're doing that, if we ever have a stealth encounter, please let me know, because I still don't understand how that works.
I will let you know. Okay, they do not notice you. As you all make your way out of the elevators.
Okay.
And you are perfectly stealthy at this point.
So Dexter will lead the charge across, and he's going to stay low to kind of set the example. I'm going to keep my head below the level of the rail around the deck, and I'm just going to peek over real quick to look down and see how far down it is to the boat.
Okay. So you look down to see how far it is to the boat, and it looks like it's actually only about a 5-foot drop into the small latchway there on the emergency boat.
Okay, I'm going to turn back around and whisper to the team, who's, I'm assuming, here with me, though their tokens are not, and I'm going to say, all right, it's going to be a 5-foot drop. Everybody jump down and get down in the lowest part of the boat you can. You do not want your head above water, or above the edge of the boat. As soon as everybody's over the edge, I'll go over and start lowering the boat, and then I'll come back and we'll drop down inside.
All right. As you're over there, go ahead and make me a spot listen, Dexter.
Oh, while he's rolling that, what do I do with all my extra successes and stuff? Doesn't mean anything.
In this particular case, I will just allow you guys to bank those for survival.
Oh man.
Okay. 2 successes in spot. Listen. As you're looking down towards the emergency boat, you can see that there are a number of makeshift armored vehicles and trucks, and even one of those ramp cars that looks like it's from the airport have pulled up alongside the cruise liner, and it looks like there's roughly about 40 or 50 guys slowly making their way out of the trucks, and 3 of the really heavily armored ones have these makeshift 50 cals that are strapped on to them with armored plates.
Okay, do they appear militant to me?
Absolutely. Every single one that gets out looks to be in has some sort of web gear. A couple of them have chest plates. All of them are wearing some sort of mask. A couple of them are wearing helmets. Others are wearing soft hats. All of them rifles, and all of them in some sort of camo pants and boots.
Okay, and the image of the boat here has shifted a little bit. We're not actually in the locked channel yet, are we?
We're not in the locked channel yet, no.
Okay. All right. So, can I spend my extra competence or my extra success there to wait and engage the lowering of the boat to the most opportune time when everybody is focused on the cruise ship and boarding?
Yeah, absolutely. So with that, you begin to watch their movements, and you notice that on the doors of the heavily armored vehicles and also the white truck in the back are the letters CJNG. And as you're watching these guys move around, they eventually start to get that airport ramp truck to face towards the ship, and it hooks its ramp to the deck below yours. And guys begin to casually just walk up the ramp and onto the ship. And you keep waiting, and you hear another sound of a latching ramp car on the other side of the ship.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead and make me another spot listen.
This looks fun.
And I'll spend 2 to succeed again.
Okay. Via with your first success. All right, fantastic. Oh wow. All right, so Dexter, you're spending 2. Kira, you doing a spot listen as well, or are you leaving it up to the pros?
Yeah, sorry. Between all of the prayers in the background, they started doing, I think they're 4 a.m. prayers to Mecca or something. All right, the mute party's real. Yeah, maybe. Oh Lord, I am. What is anything? I am.
Distracted by the sounds of gunfire and several voices from all sides beginning to freak you out that at any moment someone could spot you. You don't catch any additional information.
I was kind of hoping maybe I just saw like a jaguar just running along the side. I'm just distracted by that. Something a little more innocent. Stupid.
All right, but while that's going on, Via and Dexter, you begin to spot out in the tree line, which you can see. It looks like part of it of the tree line has been sort of bombed away, where there's a large gap and several smoking vehicles next to it. you watch as the trees are sort of bending in an odd way in the direction coming from Panama City. And every once in a while, one of the bending trees will snap back into place and wiggle for a little bit. That's with your first ones. Via, you have enough successes where if you wanted to, you get some additional information here.
Yes, I want all the information available.
Fantastic. So, as Via, you're looking around, you see that you can see that the National Guard is, for the most part, losing the controls for the Panama Canal. Quite a few more vehicles have shown up from the direction of the forest and are sort of spread out in between the various different warehouses here at the Panama Canal. And there are pockets of fighting that you can see all around the various different buildings. Looking around, you can see off in the direction of the other Carnival ship and the destroyer that's already ahead of you guys. You can see that there's a couple of jets that are in a holding pattern around the destroyer, and the destroyer is just shooting in all directions. That's your second dot of information. Third dot of information. You notice there's no helicopters at all. Which is a little odd. They should at least be helping, you would think. And it's not until you look back in the direction of Panama City that you notice a trail of some of the Blackhawks making their way into Panama City. And then fourth one, or last one I will give is, let's see here. You would notice that off in the distance in the direction of Panama City, there are massive plumes of smoke beginning to form in the horizon. And there are a couple of booms from explosions that where the sound of the explosions haven't exactly reached you yet.
Okay.
And we're going to take a quick break there, as I'm going to try and unbork the cameras and get a few other small things here and there done, as I have to rebalance a few things. And we will be right back, folks. See you soon. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Here We Are. Thank you so much for waiting. We've got our cameras back up. We are ready to go. So, getting back into things. As you guys are watching everything play out, and Dexter, you are watching the vehicles and watching the people below begin to make their way up the ramps. You do hear the occasional gunshot coming from within the cruise ship, but not many at this point. And just as you're almost ready to hit the lever to start lowering the emergency boat, and you're kind of waiting for when they finish getting the people up the ramp car, because you figure if you move it while they're on the ramp car, they might get suspicious and put the ramp and put your emergency boat full of holes, basically.
Exactly.
And you're waiting, and you hear over the intercom, or over the PA system of the boat, there is an unfamiliar voice. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your new captain speaking. Welcome. We mean you no harm, but if you fight against us, you will die. You have two options. You can get off here, or you can stay, and we'll all have a lovely trip to California. Make your choices now. And the PA system goes off.
Do we know about the status of California?
Last you heard anything, nothing had made it even past the Mississippi.
Hey, let's go to California.
Are they all in the boat at this point?
Nope, you're still waiting. There are a lot of guys, and they're slowly piling out. And you're now starting to watch. The engines are starting to be turned off, and the drivers are getting out.
Okay, so Dexter's going to whisper back, keep in mind that this is the group that opened fire on the crowd when they boarded the ship. This is a cartel. They will kill everybody that they find on the boat.
And they're on the boat, and they're finished. As the cars are just sitting there, and you don't see anybody going up the ramp anymore.
Okay, Dexter will look back down from peeking over the edge. By the way, Aaron, you mentioned when we first pulled up here that there was a chopper on the ground up on shore. Is that chopper still there?
Give me a quick spot. Listen, see if you can figure out where it is. Looks like the music cut out. With 3 failures, would you like to spend 3 competency points?
Yep.
All right, fantastic. As you spend your 3 competency points, you're looking around, and initially you aren't seeing it until you realize, there's a heap of burning wreckage, bullet holes, and several craters over by that blue warehouse over there. That's probably it.
Ooh, ouch. Okay.
Okay. There we go. So.
Okay, so Dexter will look back down and say, if we're going, it's time to go. You guys got to start jumping now.
Abby goes ahead and he gets in.
I'll get in.
All right. I'm not going to make you guys make a check to jump down in there.
Okay, the second everybody's in, Dexter's going to keep his head down, but he's going to run over here. He's going to find that boat number. I assume it's labeled on the side here somewhere.
Yeah, it's the boat 1.
All right, we're going to hit the button for it to start lowering it down, and we're going to run back and jump over the edge.
Well, that is the plan. Here's what you see. As you enter into the small compound for the controls, you can see that there are a number of switches. There is a little port for a key. There are things. There's buttons that are titled emergency. There's buttons that are titled raise and lower. There are switches everywhere, and I need you to make me a digital systems. See if you can figure out what you're looking at.
Okay, I'll spend 3.
Spending 3. Okay. So you figure you need a key from a crew member, probably, to go ahead and turn on this panel, and then use the lever on your left in combination with a couple of buttons to lower it. But there's an emergency override that might work.
Okay, we're going to do the emergency override.
Okay. So you go ahead and make me another blunt check to try and smash open the glass on the emergency override.
Okay, I'm going to
see if you hurt yourself doing it.
I'm just going to spend points to succeed.
Okay, so you spend those points. You don't end up hurting yourself doing it. Either way, it was going to break. It's just a matter of did you cut your hand or not. You go ahead and you push the button, and you watch as the emergency ship or the floater immediately drops straight into the water. It just detaches itself from all the cables and drops straight down in the water and makes a loud splash. I need everyone inside. That is Kira, that is Via, and everybody else is in here. So we assume they fail, they fall around, they hit their heads a little bit. But I need you guys to make me balance checks as the floor suddenly goes from underneath you and then hits the ocean below. Wow! Kira, as this is sudden and unexpected, you can feel your stomach go up into your chest before you rocket into the water. And you immediately lose your footing and hit the deck. But it's not too bad. You don't end up hurting yourself in any horrible way. Via, however, you sort of expected this in a way. Something in your gut told you he was just going to hit the emergency button, and he wasn't going to properly lower you down. And you spread your legs out, you grab onto one of the inside seats, and when the drop happens, you barely even move as it hits the water, and it rocks back and forth.
Like a ninja.
Yep. You can see that there's also the steering column and the throttle next to you, Via, as the little boat stops rocking, and you guys are now in the water.
All right. Dexter's going to run back up to the edge and look over and go, sorry, had to. And then he's going to pull off his backpack, drop it down into the boat.
Okay.
And then he's going
you
to
watch
hang
as it
from the
drops 40 feet and slams into the emergency boat's open hatch.
And then I will I'll lower myself down to like hang from the edge, and I'm going to drop down into the water. My rifle's going to be slung.
Okay.
And I'll drop down into the water next to the boat and then pull myself up into it.
All right. So, go ahead. Let's see here. First things first, I'm going to need you to make me a composure check. It's not often you decide to hang off the side of a boat and drop yourself 40 feet down into the water without the possibility of maybe freaking out about it.
True. Woohoo!
2 successes. So, Dexter, as you go over to the edge and you drop the bag in there, you sort of trick your mind into thinking, you know what? It's only 40 feet. It's fine. It's not going to hurt. It's not going to feel like I'm slamming into concrete when I land down there. It's okay. The Olympic divers or Olympic jumpers do this all the time when they jump in the water. It's totally fine. And as you notice as you're saying that in your mind, your first leg has already gone over the edge. and then your second leg slips over the edge, and you start to hang on by the rail, and you've got yourself over the water at this point, and you slowly begin to lower yourself down as a miniature voice in your head says, "Yeah, but they don't usually wear gear when they do this, and this is heavy. Is this really a good idea?" And just as that thought passes, you let go, and you fall.
So, standard AK is pretty light. Actually, it's only 8 to 12 pounds, depending.
That's not the issue here. Let's see what I'm gonna have you do. Because I don't exactly think that the game is expecting someone to just, do this. Make me a jump leap to see how well you can aim yourself to reduce the possibility of hurting yourself.
Woohoo! Lucky as hell.
Wow. All right. So you perfectly go ahead and push yourself off. You quickly, in the middle of the fall, remember what it looks like when you're watching the Olympics and they jump into the pool, and you start to clam your body up into a position that you've seen on TV, and you hit the water, and it fucking hurts! But you're alive, and you're awake.
Everybody else hears that hollow belly flop sound.
Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely. He just face planted in the water hard. But go ahead and make me a swim check.
Okay. Oh, I'll spend 3 to eliminate as many as possible.
Okay, it hasn't updated on my end. Oh, sweet Jesus.
Yep. 5.
Wow, 5. You spend 3 competency points as you open your eyes once more, and you can see all around you is water, and luckily you remembered to hold your breath. You watch as a few fishy go by, and there's the algae that's sort of built up along the sides of the walls nearby you. You begin to try and swim up to the surface, and God, your body, it feels so heavy, and everything's starting to ache. And all right,
can I reach out a hand to him?
Well, I'd like a spot listen from you to see if you can try and spot where he is in the water.
Okay.
First off, and while that's going on, I'd like to ask, would you like to give me your 2 failures as risk, or would you like to take mechanicals?
Oh!
Wow!
I have spotted everything in the water.
So you look over, you see the steering wheel column, you see the throttle, you hear the sound of like the clink of his belt tapping the metal rail as he's up on the deck that you just dropped from, and you look out the open latch, and you watch as he falls straight into the water. You kind of don't pay attention to the splash at all. You just stare and watch him, and he sunk maybe about a good 4 feet just to the left of the latch.
Okay,
So he's down there.
will...
You see him. Absolutely.
How far from the lifeboat is he?
He's not too far away from where the latch is. He's within reaching distance, like how far away he is from the door in sort of, hold on, let me get out the ruler here. So from going, let's say he landed here, the boat's like right here, right? But he's 4 feet down. And it looks like he's trying to swim up at this point to get back to the surface.
Sorry, my headphone battery died, and I heard about half of what you just said.
Oh, okay. So he's like right next to the boat itself. He's just 4 feet down in the water at this
Okay.
point, trying to swim up.
Is there one of those poles in the boat, like the sketchy,
You know what?
scoopy
There'd be an
poles?
oar.
With a 5, yeah, there are a couple of emergency oars. There is a bit of rope for tying the vessel onto shore. That's available to you, and yeah, you do find one of those grabber poles.
Okay. And what's the sitting situation? Are they benches?
It's kind of like a bench. It's 3 seats that are like welded onto a rack in 3 rows that are inside this emergency pod, with a bit
Okay.
of space for somebody to drive it and a bit of space for people to like stand up and stuff.
Okay, I'm gonna grab the hook pole. I'm gonna hook my leg underneath the bench, like for leverage, and
Okay.
swoop the pole down into the water to try to grab him with it.
All right. You know what? I'm not gonna make another roll for that. So Dexter, as you're starting to struggle, Dexter, mechanical or risk.
Mechanical.
Okay. So we'll say
I'm hoping Via's 5 successes outweigh my 2 failures.
you soak up 2 of her successes, and that'll mean, all right. So as you're starting to try and swim up, your vision is going blurry, and you're having a hard time exactly figuring out where everything is in actual space, as you're starting to see double. But you do see her arm come into the water, and there's this long pole along with it that reaches
All right.
down to you.
I'm gonna grab onto it and do a light tug so she knows that I'm on it,
All right,
and
Via.
start trying to climb up.
So go ahead, Via, and make me a lift pull, and Dex, go ahead and make me a swim check to assist her.
Swim check. Oh Lord. Lort.
Ooh.
Yeah, I'm not real strong.
On that note, I'm gonna spend 3.
I will
Okay.
too.
All right.
I am ultra low on competency points, but I'm gonna have to spend 3.
Okay, you go ahead and spend 3 to get your automatic success. Via, you go ahead and spend 3 to come down to 1 failure. So we will say with that, they cancel each other out. It's a bit of a struggle. And it takes you guys a second, as he is way heavier than you thought he should be. And you have to do that like lean back tug just to get him up to the edge of the boat where he can pull himself in. But eventually you get him there. And with that, you guys are in an emergency boat underneath the Carnival Glory. What would you like to do?
So Dexter like rolls into the boat as best he can and
Soaking
immediately
wet.
begins vomiting up water on the floor of
Yeah.
the boat.
Bro,
The floor is just immediately spreading with water.
Bro. Are anacondas that ugly? Why? This is my survival space.
Having had a chance to see the throttle and the steering apparatus previously, I am going to use those to hopefully make us move. I'm going to ease the throttle up or down, whichever direction it seems to want to go, to make us move.
The throttle only goes forward.
Pilot boat roll.
But let's see here. Go ahead and give me. Yeah, give me a piloting check.
Yay!
Where is that?
All the way at the bottom on
Exactly.
the left.
Oh.
It's your
Sorry
first
in
time ever doing this.
advance.
You can just spend the competency points.
Yeah. Ooh.
Oh,
77. 10% though.
sorry.
That's pretty good. So as you go over via to the controls, you look over the throttle, you grab the wheel, and you push the throttle forward, and you push it forward too much, and there's a boom as the engine kicks on, and you slam into the side of the Carnival Glory.
It's embarrassing.
And you just start doing that like bobbing slide off, and the engine's still going though, so you begin to float back towards the Carnival Glory, and you're like scraping along the side at this point.
Anybody know how to drive this thing? Apparently, this is not the same as a speedboat. Nope. Okay, I'll keep trying.
All right. So at this point, I don't actually need you to make another check. It was just the initial check to see how well you did. But with that, you try and figure it out, and it takes you a minute. But you're able to finally get it under control, and you figure less throttle is more. So you throttle it down a little bit, and you've got enough room if you wanted to either turn back or head towards the lock. It's up to you.
Where's everybody want to go?
As Dexter slows his heaving on the floor of the boat, he's going to point back in the back direction towards the rear. And if he needs to throw up again, he aims at Kira's shoes.
Okay. Fantastic.
Kidding.
Luckily, you don't have to throw up again. All right.
The water tastes like fuel.
I will say the cabbie says to go around and through the canal.
Do I listen to Cabby?
I don't know. Do you?
I don't know. I suppose I'll just do that.
Does around and through mean like heading into the lock?
Around and through means you would have to back out, come around, and then go through the much smaller portion of the Panama Canal. Much smaller, like how large of ships you can get through there, because it's got bridges and stuff. That actually just takes you straight through without having to go through any locks.
Yeah, I don't want to go through the locks.
Yeah.
That doesn't seem prudent.
So to give you sort of an idea of it, everybody see this black square I just made? Let's use the pink indicator here. So these are the locks over here that you guys are in. There is actually a portion of the canal that's about over here that has a few bridges going over it, but you can take this small of a boat through it. That'll just let you through the Panama Canal. And then there is another set of locks for medium-sized ships sort of over here. And Cabby is suggesting that you go through this central part with just the bridges and make your way to the other side of the canal.
Wait, is Cabby suggesting this? Or is Aaron suggesting this as Cabby? Because this
Cabby's,
could be some,
Aaron is suggesting this as Cabby because he doesn't know what Cabby's answer would be.
Railroading.
And he's just giving an answer from Cabby with no direction from him.
I don't know. I don't want to go through the locks, so that seems like the best option.
So you have that choice. You can also just go straight back. If you turn around and go out towards where you saw the carrier, there's just a much larger portion of the Panama Canal that doesn't have any locks or anything that you use to enter in. That takes you back to the Atlantic.
I don't think this boat is meant for like open ocean, right? I mean, I guess
it is. actually.
What the fuck?
It's
Oh yeah, no, yeah, it is a cruise ship. You're right.
I guess
you're
it's
right,
a
you're
yeah,
right.
it's a lifeboat for ocean. I guess it would
You're
be.
right. Yeah, I got flipped on it too. Is this?
But we don't
I mean,
have.
it doesn't
I don't
have the
know.
fuel to go huge
Right.
distances,
I
but
don't
it is
know.
meant
I
to.
don't
It
know.
is
Like
meant
that.
to at least go out a distance and then
Yeah.
eventually either reach a port or run out of fuel and allow you to float there. And it has
Do you
beacons and
know-
everything.
So, what part of the canal are we? Are we like near Colón or like Panama City or like?
Panama City is
Further
you're the
east?
furthest away from Panama City, in this part of the canal.
Okay, so is it like? Think. Because Volcan is sort of near the canal. Anyways, okay, they wouldn't know this much geography about Panama, so.
So
I
as
just got a
Cabby
point.
makes the recommendation, Dexter will just nod as he's able to get up onto his feet from the floor. He just gives Via a big hug while she's sitting in the piloting seat.
Oh no, don't touch me.
Got it. Show her love.
He
Good for
does.
you.
He does it anyway. She saved his life.
Okay, you're welcome. That's
Hashtag me
wonderful. Hi. Yep.
too. I say, Mia, over there. I swear I saw a jaguar. We should go check it out. Like
I
there.
like the car or the animal? Cause no, thank you.
Which would you prefer?
The car.
Oh. No.
All right. So
I like-
it
I
is
like the
agreed
rear.
upon that you're gonna swing around and take the route that doesn't make you go through the locks.
Yes.
All right, fantastic. It doesn't take you long to go ahead and pull yourselves back and swing out of this portion where it will take you through the locks. And you can see the let's see here. You can see your open gap come right into view. There are a couple of fishing boats that are next to the entrance to it, but it doesn't look like they're blocking your way or anything. And while it looks like there is a single locking mechanism for that side, it's completely open. And you can easily go through it.
Question. Does this boat seem like it requires gasoline? And if so, do those fishing boats have gasoline?
You don't have to whisper. These boats probably do require diesel. You're not entirely sure, though. You've never exactly been on one. Could be battery powered.
Boats we need. Sorry, sleeping person near me.
Oh, I get you. So do you want to try and stop at any of the boats for diesel?
I'm not the pilot. I suggest it.
I don't. I guess. I don't know.
So Dexter will speak up as he
I don't like
wipes
this.
the water from his face, and he will say, "This boat is made for ocean travel, but we're probably not going to get far on the tank that we've got. But I don't think we want to go long distance in this thing. I think we need to get to land and then start heading north on land."
I feel much more comfortable on land.
Okay.
At this point, so do I.
I don't know how much Cabby would know about Panama, so I can't say anything.
Probably nothing.
Well,
I mean, no offense, Cabby, but probably nothing.
with Cabby's fear of the open water, he'd probably be like hunkered down in the bottom of the boat.
More than likely, yeah.
On top of the fact that Dexter damn near drowned. I mean, he'd probably have his mind busy.
So, do you guys stop? Do you try and just keep going and go as far as you can until the boat cuts off? What's the deal?
My vote is that we go as far as we can till the fuel light comes on the dash. Is there a fuel light on the dash, Aaron?
There's a large indicator for fuel that looks like it has a light in there, and there's a gauge next to it that reads fuel.
Okay, so Dexter will tap on that and he'll say, let's go until the fuel light comes on, and we'll just shore up at that point.
Checkmate 20.
All right. Zombo monkeys.
It's a legitimate argument.
All right, so take you guys off the battle map as you guys have left the Carnival Glory behind. Okay. So, as you begin to hit the open waters of this Pacific, you can see out ahead of you, there's a couple of small islands to your right as you come out of the opening of the Panama Canal. There's a larger group of islands off to your left. And then, of course, you can still see the coast of Panama. Where would you like to go?
Let's see.
You don't see any other ships out here.
I don't know. I don't like any of this. I don't like any of this. And now I'm freaked out about the zombie monkeys, and I don't want to do. I want to not be in the rainforest. I want to not be on the boat. I don't want to be in the ocean and get eaten by sharks, especially zombie sharks. I don't like this. I don't like this.
All right.
Via
So,
is freaking out.
You're in the Panama Bay. Where is Via going?
Okay, are we... I should know where the Panama Canal is. Are we on the... Okay.
You're right next to Costa Rica. Do you know where Costa Rica is?
I do know where Costa Rica is.
Okay, so you're in between Costa Rica and Colombia.
Okay. I guess I'm gonna head north up the coast toward Costa Rica.
Okay.
I don't want to go to South America and get eaten by Amazon rainforest bugs and have them lay their eggs in my skin and burrow out. No, thank you.
So you go ahead and you start turning back towards America, as it were, and up to the north to try and get back to the U.S. You've got a long journey ahead of you, though. And you are sort of heading along the path currently, where you can see that there's these two smaller islands that are on your left, and then the coast of Panama is off to your right. Go ahead and everybody make me a spot listen as she is driving around. Okay, Via, you can see that there's some sort of light coming from underneath one of the closed panels on the dashboard of this little escape vessel. Dexter, you don't spot it. And the reason you figure Dexter doesn't spot it is because his hand is currently on top of the latch for where that light is coming from.
Dexter, move your hand. What's underneath it?
Kira, you also see it.
He'll pull his hand back and look.
What's that light?
You can see that there's a latch and there's a little bit of light coming from underneath it, and it kind of makes the plastic of the top of this thing a little bit transparent, and you can see there's some sort of screen underneath.
Okay, flip the latch, see if we can get the screen pulled up.
All right, you flip it open. Hey, it's a GPS. Tells you where you are.
Nice.
All right, and as you look on it, you're right in between at this point. You're right in between Fort Kobe and Taboga Island. So you're not far outside of the Panama Canal at this point.
Okay. Uh.
What would you like to do? You're just going to keep on that heading?
I mean, I don't know if it's better to head to someplace less inhabited and try to, like, hunker down and hide, or if it's better to find, like, a city or something and find people, but we don't know the state of the people here. So I don't know. I don't know what to do.
Okay. In that case, as you say, I don't know what to do, we're going to take a short break, and we will be right back as you guys think over what your situation is and which direction you want to go. So see you soon, folks. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Here We Are, Year Zero. Sorry about that. Okay, bringing us back in, you guys are in your boat. You haven't gone very far. You've only made it to the Toboga Islands, or at least you're sort of in between the Toboga Islands and the coast of Panama at this point. And it looks like just getting out of the canal. You're at mostly a full tank still. The needle has only gone down like an inch.
Quick question, Aaron. How long did it take us to get through the open portion of the canal?
It probably took you about hour and a half at most, because this thing is not fast.
Okay, so we probably still have an hour and a half to 2 hours, assuming the Panama Canal is still functioning and that the cartel has control of it. It would have taken 3 to 4 hours to get through that when it's fully functional, so I'm guessing we have some time.
Probably, yeah.
Dexter's going to get on the radio that was given to him by the CDC guy and see if we can get any of the military escort that we were previously with on the radio.
Okay. You go
He'll
ahead.
also see if he's got any cell phone reception here to call as well.
No cell phone reception.
Okay.
And when you attempt to use the radio, you just get a loud monotone.
Okay, so I'll hand that off to Cabby and ask him to keep trying to get a hold of them.
Yep. He takes it and he starts working away at it, seeing what he can do.
Okay. So my concern here, and this is Dexter addressing the group. My concern here is that the GPS is showing the path northwest through Panama. If we go on foot, is mountainous, and I mean we would have to have some serious supplies and stuff if we decided to try to head north on land anyway. So we're either going to have to stay near Panama and get supplies before we move north, or we try to get on a different boat that comes through the canal at a later time, potentially a later date, to try to hitch a ride to go north through the Pacific. So I'm thinking we take a vote, 1 if by land, 2 if by sea type of deal. Because we need to make a decision because the cartel is coming. Pun intended. Sorry, Paul Revere reference.
I mean,
Yeah, I got the reference. Sorry.
I don't think going over mountains is a wonderful plan. I don't very much like the idea of being stuck on a boat again. But I'm not really sure what other choice we have.
Moo, I see your text. We're actually in the Gulf of Panama now, so we're on the Pacific Ocean side of the canal already.
No.
Look back that way. Oh, wow. something destroyed a destroyer down there? This cartel is fucking. I mean, this is like the mega cartel.
You are not sure at all what happened.
Does anybody know how to sail a sailboat? That's not something you can just do, as far as I understand.
I can't get an answer for Cabby or Rachel, so I don't know.
I can row a rowboat. That's the extent. And now pilot a lifeboat. That's the extent of my boat expertise. And a canoe, actually. But
there's a paddle in here. There are a few paddles in here for emergency situations.
Not going to be super helpful.
So, does the GPS say whether Toboga Island has a city there or not?
It doesn't have that kind of detail on this GPS. It just gives you like a rough overview of where you are. It doesn't go into detail on what exactly is in Toboga Island.
Mm-hmm.
Not Saboga, Toboga. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm betting because we're down in the nice area of the Pacific, that more than likely all these little islands are going to have resorts and shit like that on them. We're near Toboga Island. I say that we head there for now, see if we can find some civilization and decide where and what we're going to do from there.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
In that case, does Via start steering that way?
Reluctantly, yes.
Okay, you begin to steer towards Toboga Island. And as it comes more and more into view over the next 45 minutes or so, the island, well, the small chain of islands, really, that Toboga Island is a part of, what you can see is not too far from Toboga Island. It looks like a small, tiny patch of dirt that is just covered in these massive oil drums. And there are what look like 3 ships that are currently docked at a large dock from that tiny island off the coast of Toboga. At Toboga itself, you can see that there is another island across from Toboga, which the GPS lists as Tobogila Island. I apologize if I butchered that. But at all island, you can also see a large dock and several massive oil drums, or not oil drums, but oil tanks that are lining the shore, with a few facilities next to it. And there is roughly about a good, the closer and closer you get to the main island, 140 ships scattered along the beaches of Toboga Island. And there is, in fact, a populated, what looks like resort sort of city that comes into view. As you're pulling that way, let me see here. this down. There we go. You can see that when I say resort too, there are two large, what look like a Hamilton and a Marriott hotel that have these beautiful, nice neon signs up on one end of the shore, but it is surrounded by a veritable cluster of what looks like residential and commercial buildings. Not that many of them either, that sort of crawl into a mountain range. And there's plenty of activity on the beach from what you can see, but it's a little too far away at this point for you to tell. You probably got about another 45 minutes of travel before you're finally close enough to start seeing what people look like. Let's see here. Go ahead and get this out. There we go. And when it comes to docks, you only see that in the island, it looks like there's a single large docking ramp, and it is covered from end to end in ships. To the point where it looks like a couple of ships have just started tying themselves on to other ships. And as Kira asks for binoculars, go ahead and give me a spot listen.
Oh, I do have binoculars. I didn't think I did. I was looking through my original, whatever a list of items you have is called. There's a word for that.
Your equipment?
Inventory.
Or inventory,
I do have binoculars. Yes.
Fantastic. So,
spot listen.
As Kira begins to search around for binoculars and doesn't find any, little light bulb goes off in your head. Yeah, with your 5 successes, not only do you find a shitty spare pair of binoculars provided for you in the life ship, but you also realize that there's a better pair of binoculars in your bags. So does Via say anything about that, or does she just keep the information to herself?
Oh, no, I mean, I pull the binoculars out. I'm not gonna just, yeah, yes.
Fantastic.
Binoculars.
All right. And who would like to try and see what's going down on shore?
Go ahead and do that. I'll pass them around afterwards, but I'll take a look.
Sure. Spot listen.
Another one?
Mm-hmm. Add in your gear, by the way, the I believe it's reconnaissance gear, or navigation. Let me see here. It is. We are looking for recon gear. Yeah, if you have it available to you.
I don't know where that is.
So when you go ahead and
I see it. Oh, yeah. I have a 4 in that box.
So spot listen, and then when it asks for gear and kits, go to the recon, and then.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Spot listen. Gear or kit. Recon gear. Ah, look at that. Rolled better without it.
Well, 2 successes. What you can see from here, and it is not the best of views, but you can see that there, not only are there quite a few ships that are sort of tied up together on one another, you can see that there are people who are sort of walking around, looking like they're having normal days initially. However, with your 2 successes, you can see that next to the docks there is there's this 2-story building that hangs off of the side of the rocks on the beach, and it has of course the posts that go down to the water, so it's stable. And it's got these 2 decks. It looks like it might be the back end of a restaurant or something, because it has these 2 decks, and it has several chairs and tables out on the decks. And there's a couple of people that are sitting down, eating, talking, and as you're looking through the binoculars, you can see there are these weird movements in the water near the island. And as you start to follow them, you eventually catch one of them moving closer and closer to a small outcropping of rocks next to that restaurant, where just barely you can see like there's like a memorial or something that's been set up on some of the rocks next to the docks. And you watch as something starts to make its way out of the water and crawl onto those rocks before quickly darting back into the water. And you're seeing several shapes in the water near the island. Can't make out exactly what it is.
I will hand the binoculars around and tell everyone what I saw to see if anybody else can get a better look.
All right.
I am concerned.
Kira, you take the binoculars, and initially, as you go ahead and put them up to your eyes, you hold them the wrong way around, and everything's tiny. And then you flip them around, and suddenly you can't get them to focus right. It's really irritating. How could she see that much? And you try and play around with it a little bit, and you're not getting much of anything until finally you can just see, oh, it's the island. It's just a little bit bigger now. And you look around and you see that restaurant, but you can't really make out. I mean, there's like blur of people here and there. There are the ships. There's that little outcropping of rocks. You don't really see anything in the water, but then again, the water is just blue to you. And as Kira sort of either mentally or out loud blames it on the eye patch. So out loud she blames not being able to see through the binoculars on the eye patch and not having any depth perception. Is Dex going to make a check as well?
I will if we don't have to submit failures as a risk.
No, you don't have to submit failures as risk.
Okay.
This is a casual check. There's no real risk involved here.
Ooh.
No, see, what were you worried about?
I was worried about 5 failures.
That's very true. So, with your first success, I'll let you see everything that Kira saw. But with your second success, for your second and third, would you like to get additional survival points or get more information?
Information.
Okay. Second success, you do see those dark shapes in the water. And you also see that as one of the dark shapes comes up underneath where that restaurant is, next to the docks, there's a pair of red eyes. Third success, it looks like the island hasn't really noticed yet, and it's going to happen soon. You don't know when, because from what you can tell, it looks like there's a giant circle of these dark shapes. You're not sure how many, sort of circling around the docks at this point.
I think we should leave.
So are these, Aaron, I mean, I can see them with binoculars from a ways away. Are these like fucking Hydra-sized creatures?
No, you're not terribly far away. With the time that it's taken by now, with the binoculars and GPS and getting to the docks, they are... You would put them around, on average, 9 to 12 feet.
Wow. Okay, and that's the only dock in the area?
That is the only dock on this entire island. You do see that on the island across from this, there's like an industrial dock with the fuel tanks, and you saw another smaller island on the other side of Toboga at this point. That was like, it was like one of those pinprick could walk from one side of the island to the other side of the island in like 5 minutes. There were a bunch of fuel tanks and an industrial dock there.
Okay, I'm going to. So Dexter does a double take with the binoculars, and he goes, "Holy shit! Those things are under the dock over there."
Yeah.
And he'll hand the binoculars back to Via, and he's going to look out of curiosity. There should be like there's usually like a laminated notice or something in these ships that tells you how much food is on board and all that kind of shit.
Mm-hmm.
Do I find anything like that?
Yeah, you do now that you're looking for it. It's over by the latch to leave. There's a plastered up little thing that says that this thing carries enough food, and this is with the maximum passengers considered. And you look over at the seats, and that's roughly about 10 people if you include the driver.
Sure.
So there's enough food for 4 days.
And so we have a little over a week worth of
enough
food.
water for 4 days. And there is it has that it can get you that the max travel distance for this thing is about 110 to 115 nautical miles.
And how far have we gone so far?
Would Dexter be familiar with nautical miles?
I would say it's relatively common knowledge.
Okay. In that case, I would let you know. Give me 1 second. They're a ruler for... Let's see here. Give me measure distance. Here we go. Okay. It looks like so far, let me bring that back a little bit. You have traveled a little over 6.5 nautical miles.
Okay. So Dexter will kind of tap the gas gauge and say we've used probably around 5 to 6% of our fuel so far. I don't trust the docks over there. I say that we go to the industrial area and take our chances. We've got a little bit more than a week's worth of food. And I mean, all we can do is really go over there, hope that we can get fuel back up and get these radios working so that we can get a hold of somebody to pick us up, or we boat out to them or something.
Who do you think we're going to get a hold of?
I'm hoping for the what's remaining of that military fleet that we're traveling with. You got to remember, there's still a now it's on the Atlantic side, but there's still a carrier out there that's got choppers and ships and shit with it. I mean, we're within we're within 30 to 40 miles of that fleet still.
From the fleet, you guys are... From the carrier itself, you guys would be...
Maybe a little more, maybe 40 miles.
Dun, 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 dun,
That's
dun,
if
dun.
the key on this map I'm looking at is accurate.
You guys are 43.67 nautical miles away from the carrier. As the carrier cannot actually enter the canal, so it's on the other side.
Dexter will ask Cabby, what's the range on these damn radios?
Cabby would tell you the range. The DM would not know. But I'm willing to guess it's not that far.
Okay, does Dexter recall when the choppers made their rounds and everything when they went out on maneuvers and whatnot? The times?
The times? I mean, you recall those events, absolutely. What is he trying to remember?
Well, I'm thinking that if we can get docked up in that industrial area, maybe there's a possibility that we might have some of the choppers fly over during their maneuvers or something, and we can get a hold of them then. I mean, it's a shot in the dark, but it's...
So you want to try and see if you can connect your radio maybe into one of the chopper's radio frequencies?
Yeah, something like that. Or even just scan through the channels if we're able.
Yeah. I would say Cabby begins scanning through the channels and seeing if he can figure out how to do that. And you give him, because for each of the flights that you did with them, they used a different radio code each time. And it just depended on, it seemed to depend on what time of day, what area of radio code they were in. You go ahead and give Cabby, according to this time of day, the rough range of where he should be looking for a signal. And he starts to get to work on that.
Okay. So Dexter just looks at the rest of the group and says, what do you guys think? We can't dock at Tavoga. They have creatures under the dock, and they're going to be attacking. So the industrial area?
You've got a choice of either Melonis or Tabogila Island. They both have industrial docks. The difference being is Tabogila Island is a larger island, but it has the same size industrial complex on it as Melonis. Well, Tabogila is a little bit larger, but both of them are roughly about 3 nautical miles away from you guys at this point, in either direction. Here, it chirps up that you should go to the smaller one.
If that's the only opinion we have, that's where I'll go. We can't go to this island.
Does Rachel or Cabby have any input?
They figure smaller, less chance of running into something dangerous. Or
Okay.
if you do run into something dangerous, there's less of them, more than likely.
Okay, we'll go there.
All right. So, as you guys begin to pull towards the industrial long, and I mean, like, this is an industrial dock that could hold 6 fuel tankers along the length of it. So it is a long dock that you guys...
So this is basically the fuel hub for the Panama Canal.
Essentially, yeah. These 2 islands serve as the fuel hubs for all the ships, all the cargo that goes through the Panama Canal. But as you pull up to these docks, that is where we're going to call this session for now.
Okay.
And we will come back to this next week, hopefully with everybody here, so that it's not just you guys going, we'll make decisions, and we'll have no feedback, and then we'll,
Yes.
So, thank you all so much for coming out. We greatly appreciate each and every one of you, and we will see you guys next time. Adios.
Good night, everybody.